nationwide protests,
I don't want to do it because of the politics that are happening,
to the Trump administration's critical cuts to the Department of Education. The deadline for the president's reciprocal tariffs is coming soon.
Now on April 2nd, there'll be some uncertainty.
What this means for the international market and consumers. An immersive AI experience.
Sun rays and dares to claim the sky.
Celebrating world-renowned writer and civil rights activist Maya Angelou. And put on your cowboy boots.
It becomes really, really addicting.
The winery in Homestead shows that the 305 can also get country. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Alejandro Marquina.
And I'm Julian Lascano. Today is Thursday, March 20th, 2025.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
A major shakeup expected that could affect schools nationwide. President Trump is expected to sign an executive order today to shut down the Department of Education.
DC reporter Rafael Hernandez is live in Washington and has more on how local education experts respond to changes made to the agency. Good morning, Rafael.
Good morning. With cuts to nearly half of its workforce and an executive order to shutter it on the horizon, members of the United Teachers of Dade and Florida Parent-Teacher Association warn that these changes to the department could have negative impacts on students and teachers. The federal layoffs are a key part of President Donald Trump's plan to shutter the agency completely. Eliminating an agency requires an act of Congress, but layoffs and funding cuts make any work at the department almost impossible to do. Trump campaigned on the promise to shut down the department, saying it was necessary to eliminate what he says are unproductive workers and keep the most qualified staff. The president has said that he hopes these cuts will move education closer to the local level.
We want education to be moved back where the states run education, where the parents of the children will be running education.
But to Jude Bruno, incoming president of the Florida PTA, making an already small agency like the Department of Education even smaller could make it less efficient. Services like the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act and programs like Head Start are overseen by the ED.
It's a lot of intricate programs and initiatives that were supported by the U.S. Department of Education. The issue is, are there going to be sufficient personnel to keep them going? And the second question is, are there going to be sufficient personnel for them to be as robust as they were?
United Teachers of Dade President Carla Hernandez-Matz warns that the layoffs could disenfranchise students and deter potential educators, leading to a chilling effect across the state.
There are a lot of qualified educators, people who have their right heart, the right attitude, the right mindset to make a difference in this community, that are just giving up before they even get started. They're saying, you know what, I don't want to get into that profession. I don't want to do it because of the politics that are happening, because of the lack of funding, and it's going to have a detrimental effect on our students.
Now, President Trump's executive order also directs Education Secretary Linda McMahon to make sure that no funding go towards any DEI programs or activities. Reporting from the Department of Education, I'm Rafael Hernandez.
Uncertainty looms over the U.S. economy as officials from the Trump administration decline to predict a recession. Instead, they describe a transitional phase that could bring economic challenge. Meanwhile, President Trump remains confident, arguing that his new tariffs will pave the way for a stronger future. Caplin's Aliyah Whitney has more on what this could mean for American businesses and consumers.
They're sort of making excuses and stories about a bad economy when we don't yet have a bad economy.
Experts say it's not too late to avoid inflation and a potential economic slowdown. That's despite a grim new forecast and warnings like these from the Trump administration.
There are no guarantees.
Between now and April 2nd, there'll be some uncertainty.
April 2nd is when President Donald Trump says he'll unveil sweeping new tariffs. He says they'll offer negotiating leverage, protection for some domestic industries, and a response to trade deficits.
It's a liberation day for our country, because we're going to be getting back a lot of the wealth that we so foolishly gave up to other countries.
A new report from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development paints a grimmer outlook. It predicts if U.S. businesses end up paying more tariffs, that would lead to price hikes for American consumers and a slower U.S. economy. But note that word if.
A lot of the fundamentals are still in pretty good shape.
It's almost as if the Trump economic team has accepted that bad things are going to happen.
The president says he won't back down on tariffs. Other countries say they're working on retaliatory measures and trade deals that don't involve the U.S. But economists point out it's not April 2nd yet.
that's kind of a self-created crisis. I feel like that could be pretty easily reversed if needed.
I'm Aaliyah Whitney reporting with Caplin News.
Without the quick action from local volunteers, hope may have been lost for two missing teenage girls in Inglis, Florida. These two girls were last seen Monday afternoon in an inflatable paddleboard. Rescuers found the girls trapped on a nearby island surrounded by sharp oyster beds.
I got kids myself, and I would just hope anybody else would do the same. I feel great about it. I mean, it's a rarity.
Despite a few cuts, the girls were unharmed and hospitalized to be examined for hypothermia.
To augmented reality, the words of the legendary poet Maya Angelou jump off the page. As Caplin's Don Booth reports, it's a collaboration between Angelou State, Florida International University, and several digital partners.
I'm at Anson Park, one of many locations where visitors can experience the Maya Angelou AI Immersive Digital Exhibit. In collaboration with the Cage Bird, CMG Group, 11 Labs, and FIU Dreams program, this experience brings her powerful words of wisdom and legacy to life.
Welcome to Dr. Maya Angelou AI Experience, a revolutionary fusion of augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and history, bringing Angelou's powerful words to life in a new and immersive way. As visitors step into this unique digital world, they're immediately transported into an interactive AR experience that celebrates Dr. Angelou's immersive contributions to literature and civil rights.
Hello and welcome.
One of the exhibition highlights the Dr. Angelou AR Digital Quarter experience. Here, visitors can virtually hold the U.S. quarter that honors Angelou, first African-American woman to be featured on a coin connecting with history through their own hands. This digital interaction allows guests to reflect on Angelou's legacy in a deeply personal way, all while surrounded by the beauty of the park. Next, visitors step into the Cage Bird immersive experience, where an augmented reality bird cage appears before them. Inside, they are surrounded by the evocative imaginary of Angelou's icon Cage Bird poem.
Orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky.
A true icon, may her voice inspire you to rise, dream, and create change in your own way. I'm Dawn Booth with Caplin News.
Commander Suni Williams and Captain Butch are safely back on Earth after being stuck in space for more than 9 months. They were rescued on SpaceX capsule on Tuesday and were brought on stretchers, which is normal as they're trying to adapt to being back on Earth. NASA does provide lab exercise routines and equipment for astronauts spending hours each day moving in a space station. Bone and muscle mass can be lost while in space, affecting health.
Everything to your lower extremities, the fluid that is shifting. You know, I got a little puffy face. It's always that way when I'm in space. All that fluid is going to be pulled to my lower extremities.
According to NASA, in space, about 2 pounds of body fluid goes from the legs to the head and body, decreasing the amount of blood in your blood vessels, which causes low blood pressure or hypotension. In a study, it was concluded that human health can be sustained for about a year in space.
The Miami Heat looking to win at home against the Detroit Pistons.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
I look forward to it since Monday. I count down the days that I could come.
Locals are getting in long country lines for a trend sweeping South Florida. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Really use a new tablet. I just don't have the money.
Let me ask you something. Do you have a Pell Grant?
Yes.
You do know you can get a free tablet, right?
Did you say free?
Yeah, free. It's simple. And the application is done in the store.
I could really use a tablet.
Go get one. Another satisfied customer. Stop by Panther in the Graham Center at FIU MMC today to speak with one of our associates to get your free tablet.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life. But how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have something called prediabetes. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Saddle up, partners. There's a trend spreading across South Florida that got the people shaking in their boots. Line dancing is quickly becoming a go-to activity in Miami, appealing to seasoned dancers and first-timers. But what about line dancing that's making it such a perfect fit?
Julian, even though I prefer salsa, Samantha Gutierrez stepped onto the dance floor to give us a closer look at this dance craze.
As you can see from this long line behind me, a lot of people here in Miami are trading their classic salsa step for something different. It's line dancing. That's right, people are two-stepping, shuffling, and heel-toeing. That's why I'm diving in to show you how line dancing is taking over the city, one step at a time.
Line dancing is a series of choreographed steps that are repeated in patterns.
And I think the more you have fun with it, the easier it is to learn it.
Every Friday, Camila Salaveria and her friends line dance at Schnebley's Country Nights.
I look forward to it since Monday. I count down the days that I could come. It's so much fun.
Camila, like many young line dance lovers, hopped on the trend summer of 2023 into 2024, when the country trend became viral on TikTok, with fan-created dances to songs like Texas Hold'em and Austin.
And I started coming and then learning the dances on TikTok, and it just becomes really, really addicting.
Devlin Henry has been teaching line dancing for 17 years. He has seen line dancing evolve from its traditional country music roots to include trendy remixes.
And that's what the younger crowd likes, that we bring a special flair. The younger crowd has started picking up and seeing how cool this was.
Christopher Valle has watched this event grow for the last 5 years. Before, they hosted 200 guests a night. Now they average 750 every Friday.
I think it's honestly the environment. I think it just allows people to get and not have to worry about going out to clubbing.
Country nights appeal to all ages, hosting a range of guests from toddlers to seniors.
This country trend is all about the music, the moves, and the community that keeps everyone coming back for more. Reporting from Homestead, I'm Samantha Gutierrez for Caplin News.
And after another disappointing loss against the New York Knicks, the Miami Heat hope to light a spark to their season against the Detroit Pistons at home. Bam Adebayo left the first quarter drawing a foul and putting in a layup to make it a three-point play. Tyler Hero also sunk in threes, giving the Heat a double-digit lead for almost the entire first quarter. But in true Heat fashion, the lead was short-lived, with the Pistons guard Kane Cunningham scoring a total of 25 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists. It came down to the last few seconds where after Hero tied the game with just 5 seconds left, Cunningham came in with a three-pointer to give the Pistons the W. The final score was Pistons 116, Miami 113. The Heat will continue against the Rockets at home tomorrow at 8 p.m. You're watching Newsbreak. We're coming right back.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Bill is a family man. He invests his money wisely and provides a good life for his children. Just one problem. He often opens emails from senders he doesn't know, and his computer is not password protected. One day, Bill checked his bank account and 94% of malware attacks originate from emails. Don't be like Bill. Take your cybersecurity seriously.
And that's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Julian Lascano.
And I'm Alejandro Marquina. Get more news anytime at CaplinNews.fiu.edu.